Thank you for joining us on Inside with Belle, where every week we bring you the best of Hollywood behind the scenes. It's great to be in the heart of Hollywood on the Sunset Strip, where we can look outside our window and see the Hollywood Hills in the background with the billboards advertising some of the upcoming films. One of Hollywood's major stars is Zoe Saldana. My daughter and I discovered her in 2000 when we watched her in the film Center Stage.
Lift down up. Excellent, Eva. Where's the turnout, Jody? After everything we've talked about, I'm not seeing it. You understand what I'm saying? Use what you have and turn out.
Jesus, she heard you.
Excuse me?
She heard you. We all heard you. You don't have to speak to her like that. Anyone can see she's working her ass off.
That's enough, Miss Rodriguez.
This is my classroom, and I will run it as I see fit. If you have a problem with that, you are free to leave.
You have seen her as Uhura in Star Trek and Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy and in the Avengers franchise. You have seen her as Neytiri in 2 of the Avatar movies, with 3 more Avatar movies set to premiere in 2025, 2029, and 2031. Saldana is a powerhouse actress, writer, and producer. She is one of the only actresses to star in some of the highest grossing franchises ever. On television, she continues in the 2nd season of Lioness, which airs on Paramount Plus, where she stars as Special Agent Joe Cruz in the Special Ops Lioness program overseen by Caitlin Meade, who is played by Nicole Kidman.
Are you close?
Closer than we've ever been.
Contract agent or lioness?
Lioness, sir.
We locate the wives and daughters of these high-value targets.
You made it.
Told you I was coming. And we place an operative close to them. And we kill the target.
If we play this right, it is over before it's begun.
There's really no means to abort.
We'll get her killed and expose the entire program.
Our asset is embedded. We don't have the ability to call her off.
We move now. Her cover's low. It's that core. Do that.
So we're just going to pretend that a CIA quick reaction force did not execute a kill mission in front of CBS News.
Walk us through your decision to call the drone strike.
She was dead either way.
I can't do this.
You need to remember what you're fighting for.
What an amazing opportunity it would be for a seasoned actress who has been acting for over 20 years to land a 5-episode role and work with Academy Award-winning actress Nicole Kidman and Zoe Saldana. And that actress is Sofie Calderon, who landed the role of Atsi in Lioness. We'll be right back with my interview with Sofie after these important messages. My guest, Sofie Calderon, began her career with a national commercial alongside the late Tejano singer Selena, which enabled her to get her SAG membership and set her on her professional path. She has built up an impressive list of credits, which include The Shield and The L Word. Her work over 20 years has led her to her latest role as Atsi in the Paramount Plus Lioness series, where her character is pulled into the high-stakes world of espionage. Here's my interview with Sofie Calderon. So we want to welcome actress-producer Sofie Calderon to Insight with Belle. Welcome, Sofie. Thank you for joining us. If you are a fan of the L Word, Generation Q, Shameless, or Grey's Anatomy, then you've seen Sofie's work, and you will next see her in season 2 of Lioness, a series that stars Zoe Saldana as a CIA operative and airs on Paramount Plus. So thank you, Sofie. I was curious, where did you grow up? Why did you feel acting was your calling?
Oh gosh, I love that. Well, I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and when I was, I think, 2nd grade, we moved to San Antonio. So I am kind of an adopted Texan. And I have to tell you that in learning English, poetry and prose were some of the outlets for me. And so naturally, acting became an extension of that. And that's where I started. I mean, it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't that it was frowned upon, but I had educators as parents. So they kept thinking I was going to change my mind, and I never did.
Acting is not just film and TV, because you kind of have to cut your teeth on doing other work. And what other work did you do as an actor to start getting your chops in?
I have to say, I mean, trite as it might be, classical theater training, just even getting out. It's easy to say, oh, all the theater is in New York, or if you're traveling and doing a national show or something. But I disagree. I mean, New York is amazing. London's West End, amazing. But if you just want to work, you're a much stronger actor auditioning for shows here in town. Sometimes, you might get a casting director who will come, not always, or an agent, but just for your own self. Because I always found that when I was doing a show, and then I went on to just even an audition, a physical audition, back when we did those all very regularly, I was much, much stronger. So, even if you were a 99-seat theater, not that many people came, it was the growth. And that is the foundation that creates a stronger actor.
Right. You're working on your craft. You're
Yes.
fine-tuning it.
Yes.
And let's talk now about your role in Lioness.
Why, out of all the jobs in the world, you pick this one? Why this job?
There's no such thing as a moral war. There's survival and there's surrender.
How did we get to where we are today?
Hey!
No. Nobody's innocent. Nobody.
I mean, how awesome is it that you're working with Zoe and Academy Award-winning Nicole Kidman? So tell us about the show, and then tell us about your role.
Well, thank you. It's an honor, great opportunity to be in the Taylor Sheridan universe. But Lioness is a show that centers around a very true story, CIA actual military program, and it follows the life of the main protagonist, Zoe Saldana, who's her character's name is Joe, and her Lioness group that works undercover. And so it's Jill Wagner, who's also an actor on the show. She plays Bobby. She's one of the executive producers who brought the idea and pitched it to Taylor. So it's been a long time coming. I don't know all the details of all of that, but I'm excited to bring it to life. And my role is the role of Atsi, who is a housekeeper to a wealthy Latino family. So you'll have to tune in.
Hey, Sophie, so tell me a little bit about your character and how you fit into the whole story here.
What I can share, because I want you guys to tune in, can't give too much away. I think oftentimes there are people who are often overlooked. So, keep your eye out. Sometimes that can be, and as I can relate as a short, morena, Latina. Sometimes we're overlooked of a certain age. And I think actually that can be your superpower. So I'm excited to say that Atsi might be more than meets the eye, and you'll see her in upcoming episodes. And it's just been a thrill to work with everybody and a chance to play and finally see it come to life. You just see, you do your scenes, and we were down in Texas shooting, which was fun to get back to, even though it was North Texas. I was raised in South Texas. And it's just been an exciting aspect of it. And so Atsi has a small arc within the story, and I hope you tune in.
Well, that's a great tease. I am even more intrigued now.
My work, I specifically got the privilege and honor to work with Nicole. Unfortunately, I didn't get to work with Zoe. Although I met her many, many years ago, and she's lovely. She and I met one of her sisters, Cecily, and lovely, lovely, wonderful girls. Felt like sisters. But Nicole, I got to work with, and what a dream, what an honor. And it was wonderful working with another thespian, and it was just, and another mom, a fellow mom. So it was just,
But also Zoe's character is Latino, isn't it? Joe Cruz.
yes, yeah, she is Latina.
But isn't it fantastic that this is putting a new light on Latinas? A CIA operative?
I am supposed to look at people I love in the eye, take their freedom, maybe even their lives.
Do you love your country?
You okay?
I'm fine. Things are falling apart everywhere. Do you love your country?
How messy is this gonna be?
It's not gonna be clean.
You can't trust any of them.
Exposure is beyond containment.
I got him. I'm gonna ask you again if you're okay.
I'm running out of lives.
What happens when you're outnumbered 100 to 1?
Do you love your country?
I am serving my country right now.
Your country needs more.
Did you see the first season of the show? I have not seen the first season. I will now tune in and watch.
I mean, binge it. It is so exciting. You know what I love is that there is no need to explain that you're Latina, that you're Morena, that you're anything. You just are.
Yes.
And just like everybody. And that's the groundbreaking news of it all. You know what I mean? No one needs to walk in and announce that I am this. I simply am. And so that's really exciting, and that's where we're headed.
It's normalizing it. What can you give us a reason why the longevity and that you're still here standing and working away?
Oh, thank you, Belle. You know, it's a mix of a lot of things. You have to toggle, especially when you're still, as I like to call myself, a journeywoman actor. You know, unless you're, been close on a couple of series regulars. I've had, as you mentioned, several recurrings in the past. But once that job ends, you're back to the chase of it. So I toggle between whether it's commercial work or voiceover work. You stay the course. You stay the course because you love it. Even the audition. I was reading an interview. God, it was I think it was Marlene Forte who said the audition is the job.
Yeah.
And so I love that. I read that somewhere that she said, and she and I did a reading years ago. She's a lovely, lovely woman and a great actress. You can catch her on Monster. But I remember her saying that, and it resonated very much because that is how seriously you have to take it. And then you have to stay the course.
But that's another thing that you said. You do voiceover work. So like, again, people think that actors are only on film and television, but there's so many things. There's animation, which again is you use your voice. And then a lot of people do Walla. Have you done Walla for films? And then voiceover, all that.
Yeah, a long time ago. And then there's groups, Walla groups. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities where you can find your voice, and there's even, it's more of a day job, but like you can do educational theater and whatever. You have to have, for some that is a survivor job, so that you can then get to the big leagues and be able. And these days, with the flexibility of auditioning from home, whether you like it or dislike that, it can create flexibility so that you're not having to drive all the way to Santa Monica for something. You can use that time in a different way and stay the course. Just stay positive and stay the course, and get out and do theater. There's still opportunities. I never give up.
Although it's fun going to auditions and seeing your friends, right? You miss that, right?
Yeah, I do. You get it now more in callbacks, and you run into folks, and I auditioned for something recently, and you're at the point where you're so happy to see other people that even if you saw someone else got it, you're just happy for them. You're
Yeah,
like,
because
"Hey, you got it."
a callback is already they've narrowed down the hundreds of actresses into I don't know how many, but then you know that if you see these few women in your age group, you're competing against them, and they're your friends, but that's the way it is, right?
That's the way it is. And ultimately, you just wish everybody well and good parking. You know what I mean? You just like, we're all going to get back to our own families, and then maybe you get the next one, and just have a positive attitude, because the alternative is just do you
What
or
are some
anybody
of
else
the
any good.
highlights that you remember from your work that you've done throughout the years?
Well, I have to say, not to harken back to Lioness, but a real career high was working with Nicole. To have an entire day dedicated just shooting our scene was such a generous actor, and to be able to interpret Taylor's work in a way that just hopefully elevated the scene, and toggling back and forth with someone else of that caliber and feeling completely at ease. I think many others will be measured by that.
And you keep mentioning Taylor Sheridan. He is the executive producer, and does he also write the series?
Oh yeah.
And tell us what other shows he's done, because I think people will know who you're talking about.
Well, Yellowstone is the big one. A lot of people know Yellowstone, 1883, Lawman, what is it, Tulsa King. There's a lot of. I mean, I think there's 7 shows running now. So
He's a
pretty
king
impressive.
right now of series, like dramatic series, right?
Yes,
Because
yes. Well, and also his wonderful film work as well. But incredible talent.
so you're working with the big ones in this. And
Well,
hopefully that will lead to other, because now they know your talent. So now it's easier to say, I remember she did a fantastic job. And, there's that possibility, right?
out of your mouth into God's ears.
So do you have, what advice would you give someone that says, I want to go into acting, is it good for me? Should I do it? What would you say to them?
I would say that if it's a craft that you enjoy, I mean, at its most basic level, if you enjoy the artistry of it, because it's a business that can drown out a lot of that artistry. Sometimes you're waiting and sitting in a chair for hours before you say that magical 1 line or 5 lines or whatever it is. So you have to enjoy it and enjoy a lot of what goes into it, from the drive to the audition. I mean, if you can handle all that and you're willing to stay the course and continue to feed yourself, whether it's classes or how you take care of yourself, then I say go for it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, and continue to improve yourself. Because it's very easy to be jaded, and this town will tell you, oh, I was an actor once and blah, blah, blah. And I say don't listen to those people.
How did you convince your parents that this was the path?
They're very, very supportive. I finished college, and then I came to LA, and I went to Denver for a couple of years touring theater, but then I think over time they saw that I wasn't giving up, and I found a way to make a living. Even when I was doing the theater, I was making a living, and then when they flew out to see me in a show, they were impressed, and they were like, okay. All right, whatever you need.
So I saw that you also produced. Have you produced plays, or what
Yes,
have you produced?
I produced a couple of plays. I produced some independent films, and right now we are hard at work pitching a docu-series called Misfit Makers, which is based on product designers and designers of all different ilks, but specifically who normally don't get the attention. So not necessarily only DEI, because we've got men and women, but of different backgrounds. And ultimately is, how does product design heal the world? You know, everything we have, our phones, everything, those were product designs. And so it's a little similar to, there's a show on Netflix called Abstract. So there's an element of that, but it's specifically targeted at folks you often overlook.
Right. And that's an interesting topic. I'm like imagining what you would see on that show, because you're talking about cups, you're talking about phones, you're talking about gadgets that you have in the house. All of that is product design. Not
all of that
fashion, right?
Yes, but in addition to that is, you know, I think about the water problem in Flint, Michigan, that is still problematic. You know, not only are you using engineers, but you have to have special kind of thinkers who are designing to heal the world. Not everything is here for consumption. Wow. So it's a way of looking at the world and seeing what people are doing to create foster a better world. And a lot of times that's done through how we are creating things outside the box, as they say.
So you're not only being creative as an actor, you're also being of service to humanity, because this is something that people don't even think about. You know, when they think about things that are out there that they use, that someone is creating the next big thing as
And you have to foster that. You know, there's a lot of times, you know, some of the young designers don't have the money, don't have the backing, you know, and so whether it's, a lot of times they have design prizes and shows that they enter into, and it's a dog-eat-dog world, but it's an exciting proposition. We've pitched it a little bit. We've got a nice team. We have a nice deck. And so, you know, we're out there trying to sell it. We've got a wonderful best-selling author whom a lot of this was based on, Kevin Bethune, forgive me. And so we're, you know, it's like anything else. You just stay the course. You don't, you know, you get a lot of no's. It's okay. That's okay.
Exciting, you know, and that's one of the things that you have as an actor and as a producer, a lot of no's, but like you say, you have to stay the course.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you so much. And for our viewers that want to keep up with that show and your acting, where can they find you?
Oh, goodness. IMDb. I'm also on Instagram.
What's your Instagram?
Sofie Calderon 21. And yeah, I'm around. I mean, I'm just not as vocal in social media. I'm a little slow to it, but I am enjoying it.
So watch Sofie Calderon on Lioness on Paramount Plus. Her episode is it's called what is it called? I saw it. Do you remember the name of it?
Well, I'm in episodes 3 through 7. So this particular one that comes on, I don't remember the name of it at the moment, but really excited to just be a part of Lioness, and please watch.
Well, we're looking forward to it, Sofie. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be
watching.
Thank you. And we'll be right back after this break. The role of housekeeper or maid in a film or television show is for the most part a throwaway role that just serves to further the storyline. However, there are some housekeeping roles that have become memorable in Hollywood lore for moving the story forward. One of those roles is Mammy, played by Hattie McDaniels in Gone with the Wind. Fast forward and we have Lupe Ontiveros' Nacha in Gregory Nava's Library of Congress inducted film El Norte.
Si tú tratas de comprender a los gringos, te va a dar un dolorzazo de cabeza.
You have Ana de Armas as the housekeeper in the Academy Award-nominated film Knives Out. Then there are the housekeepers, all very memorable, but one in particular that elevates The Help into a whole different label in the movie The Help, written and directed by Tate Taylor.
No, Ms. Walters. That's Miss Hilly's special pie.
Mama can have a piece.
Let her one. Go get a plate.
Eat my.
What'd you say?
I said, eat my.
Have you lost your mind?
No, ma'am. But you about to. 'Cause you just did.
Did what?
All this to say, as Hattie McDaniel put it, I'd rather play a maid than be one. So congratulations to all the actresses who have put some compassion and humanity to every maid role they have played. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Insight with Belle.